Saint Augustine, Commentary on Psalm 7, Part 2. Let the enemy therefore persecute my soul and take it. Verse 5. By again naming the enemy in the singular number, he more and more clearly points out him what he spoke of above as a lion. For he persecutes the soul, and if he has deceived it, will take it. For the limit of man's wage is the destruction of the body, but the soul after this visible death they can't keep in their power, whereas whatever souls the devil shall have taken by his persecutions he will keep. And let him tread my life upon the earth, that is, by treading let him make my life earth, that is to say, his food. For he is not only called a lion, but a serpent too, to whom it was said, Earth shall you eat. See Genesis 3:14. And to the sinner was it said, Earth you are, and into earth shall you go. See Genesis 3:19. And let him bring down my glory to the dust, that is, that dust which the wind casts forth from the face of the earth, to wit, vain and silly boasting of the proud, puffed up, not of solid weight, as a cloud of dust carried away by the wind. Justly then has he here spoken of the glory, which he would not have brought down to dust. For he would have it solidly established in conscience before God, where there is no boasting. He that glories, says the apostle, let him glory in the Lord. See 1 Corinthians 1:31. This solidity is brought down to the dust if one, through pride, despising the secrecy of conscience, where God only proves a man, desires to glory before men. Hence comes what the psalmist elsewhere says, God shall bruise the bones of them that please men. Now he that has well learned or experienced the steps in overcoming vices knows that this vice of empty glory is either alone or more than all to be shunned by the perfect. For that by which the soul first fell, she overcomes the last. For the beginning of all sin is pride, and again, the beginning of man's pride is to depart from God. Arise, O Lord, in your anger. Verse 6. Why yet does he who we say is perfect inside God to anger? Must we not see whether he rather be not perfect, who, when he was being stoned, said, O Lord, lay not this sin to their charge? See Acts 7:60. Or does the psalmist pray thus not against men, but against the devil and his angels, whose possession sinners and the ungodly are? He then does not pray against him in wrath, but in mercy, whosoever prays that possession may be taken from him by that Lord who justifies the ungodly. See Romans 4:5. For when the ungodly is justified, from ungodly he is made just, and from being the possession of the devil he passes into the temple of God. And since it is a punishment that a possession in which one longs to have rule should be taken away from him, this punishment that he should cease to possess those whom he now possesses, the psalmist calls the anger of God against the devil. Arise, O Lord, in your anger. Arise, he has used it as a peer, in words that is human and obscure, as thou God sleeps, when he is unrecognized and hidden in his secret workings. Be exalted in the borders of mine enemies. He means by borders the possession itself in which he wishes that God should be exalted, that is, be honored and glorified, rather than the devil, while the ungodly are justified and praise God. And arise, O Lord my God, in the commandment that you have given, that is, since you have enjoined humility, appear in humility, and first fulfill what you have enjoined, that men by your example overcoming pride may not be possessed of the devil, who against your commandments advised to pride, saying, Eat, and your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as gods. See Genesis 3:5. And the congregation of the people shall surround you. This may be understood two ways. For the congregation of the people can be taken either of them that believe or of them that persecute, both of which took place in the same humiliation of our Lord, in contempt of which the multitude of them that persecute surrounded him, concerning which it is said, Why have the heathen raged and the people meditated vain things? But of them that believe through his humiliation, the multitude so surrounded him, that it could be said with the greatest truth, Blindness in part is happened unto Israel, that the fullness of the Gentiles might come in. See Romans 11:25. And again, Ask of me, and I will give you the Gentiles for your inheritance, and the boundaries of the earth for your possession. And for their sakes return thou on high, that is, for the sake of this congregation, return thou on high, which is understood to have done by his resurrection and ascension into heaven. For being thus glorified, he gave the Holy Ghost, which before his exaltation could not be given, as it is written in the Gospel, for the Holy Ghost was not yet given, because that Jesus was not yet glorified. John 7:39. Having then returned on high for the sake of the congregation of the people, he sent the Holy Ghost, by whom the preachers of the gospel being filled the whole world with churches. It can be taken also in this sense, Arise, O Lord, in your anger, and be exalted in the borders of mine enemies. That is, arise in your anger, and let not mine enemies understand you, so that to be exalted should be this, become high, that you may not be understood, which has reference to the silence spoken of above. For it is of this exaltation thus said in another psalm, And he ascended upon cherubim and flew, and he made darkness his secret place. In which exaltation or concealment, when for their sins deserts they shall not understand, you who shall crucify you, the congregation of believers shall surround you. For in his very humiliation he was exalted, that is, was not understood, so that, and arise, O Lord my God, in the commandment that you have given, may have reference to this, that is, when thou showest yourself be high or deep, that mine enemies may not understand you. Now sinners are the enemies of the just man, and the ungodly of the godly man. And the congregation of the people shall surround you, that is, by this very circumstance, that those who crucify you understand you not. The Gentiles shall believe in you, and so shall the congregation of the people surround you. But what follows, if this be the true meaning, has in it more plain, that it begins already to be perceived, than joy that is understood. For it follows, And for their sakes return thou on high, that is, and for the sake of this congregation of the human race, wherewith the churches are crowded, return thou on high, that is again cease to be understood. What then is, and for their sakes, but that this congregation too will offend you, so that you may most truly foretell and say, Thinkst thou when the Son of Man shall come, he will find faith on the earth? Luke 18:8. Again, of the false prophets who are understood to be heretics, he says, Because of their iniquity the love of many shall wax cold. See Matthew 24:12. Since then, even in the churches, that is, in that congregation of peoples and nations, where the Christian name has most widely spread, there shall be so great abundance of sinners, which is already in great measure perceived. Is not that famine of the word, Amos 8:11, here predicted, which has been threatened by another prophet also? Is it not true for this congregation's sake, who by their sins are estranging from themselves that light of truth that God returns on high, that is, so that faith pure and cleansed from the corruption of all perverse opinions is held and received, either not at all or by the same very few of whom it was said, Blessed is he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. Mark 13:13. Not without cause, then, is it said, and for the sake of this congregation, return thou on high, that is, again, withdraw into the depth of your secrecy, even for the sake of this congregation of the peoples that has your name and does not your deeds. But whether the former exposition of this place or this last be the more suitable, without prejudice to anyone better or equal or as good, it follows very consistently, the Lord judges the people. For whether he returned on high when after the resurrection he ascended into heaven, well does it follow, the Lord judges the people, for that he will come from thence to judge the quick and the dead. Or whether he return on high when the understanding of the truth leaves sinful Christians, for that of his coming it has been said, Do you think the Son of Man on his coming will find faith on the earth? Luke 18:8. The Lord then judges the people. What Lord but Jesus Christ? For the Father judges no man, but has committed all judgment unto the Son. See John 5:22. Wherefore, this soul which prays perfectly, see how she fears not the day of judgment, and with a truly secure longing says in her prayer, Your kingdom come, judge me, she says, O Lord, according to my righteousness.